Describe a time when you needed to search for information. You should say what information you needed to search for, when you searched for it, where you searched for it, and explain why you needed to search for it.
In this contemporary epoch, we search the internet to find accurate information. However, people depend mainly on it, and several times I have switched to conventional sources to gain accurate information. Here, I'd like to talk about a unique situation when I had to look up information. During my school days, my school management wanted to honor the birthday of Shahid Bhagat Singh, and they organized a social event on September 28, 2 years ago. My class teacher gave me the task of giving a speech on the great personality Shahid Bhagat Singh, who made a lot of contributions for freedom and sacrificed his life. I was so excited after knowing that, although I had a little information about him. First, I read a lot of websites and watched a number of videos, but most of them had the same content, and specific and deep information was not available. After that, I visited a Sikh history museum in my city, and from there, I gained substantial information regarding his life from one book. I wrote a few notes from there and prepared a speech on this topic. Many people sacrificed their entire lives for our motherland, but the current generation does not know much about them, so I had to look for it. A speech on Shahid Bhagat Singh in front of the school crowd was a perfect opportunity for me to pay homage to one of our nation's unheralded heroes. For this reason, I searched far and wide for accurate information about his personality.
Describe a time you used your phone or smartphone to do something important. Please say what happened, when it happened, how important the phone was, and explain how you felt about it.
Well, today's smartphones are loaded with huge features which people always utilize for various purposes, such as communication, online transactions, and entertainment. And here I would like to talk about the incident when I used my phone to find my mother's lost mobile phone. Actually, almost 6 months ago, my mother went to the market to buy some vegetables. But when she came back home, she was pretty disappointed as she lost her phone in the vegetable market. I instantly tried to call the number but got no response despite several attempts. We understood that it had gone into the wrong hands. It was not only an expensive device but had a lot of important information such as bank apps, a few videos, all contacts, messages, photos, etc. When everyone lost hope, finally, I decided to track the mobile. Actually, my mobile phone has advanced features that help track different devices. Within 10 minutes, I found the location of the handset. However, it was the nearest supermarket, not the exact direction. Fortunately, I received a call from a mobile phone store where a junkie was trying to sell my mother's phone. I immediately visited the nearest police station and told the whole story. The police officer accompanied me to the outlet and arrested the thief and returned the mobile phone. My mother was extremely delighted to get her mobile phone back and she appreciated and felt proud of me for the method I solved out the situation. Overall, it was the time when I used my smartphone for something important. Describe something that surprised you and made you happy. Please explain what it was. Who did this? How you found out about it and what you did. And explain why it surprised you and made you happy.
No doubt, surprises are always pleasant, and we often dream of them. But when the surprises appear from the dearest person, it becomes more enjoyable, although there are many surprising moments in my life. But one that I am going to share here is the surprise that my paternal aunt made me on my 18th birthday. My paternal aunt, who has been living in Canada for a long time now, hasn't traveled to India for almost 10 years. Last year, she arrived in India on my 18th birthday without any intimation, and my whole family was on cloud 9 to see her doorsteps. As she entered, she gave me a warm hug, wished me a happy birthday, and handed over a wrapped box to me. As I opened the box, I couldn't believe my eyes because it was the woolen imported jacket and I had really needed it for a long time. In addition to that, my brother had already arranged a celebration in the most expensive restaurant in my city, where he had already invited all the friends and relatives. I was so happy and grateful to my brother, who made all these arrangements. We all enjoyed the party, and it gave me the chance to share my happiness with everyone. During this celebration, many photographs were clicked, and whenever I see these photographs, I recall the memories. Overall, it was an unforgettable surprise that my dearest aunt and brother gave me, and I will never forget it.
How do people express happiness in your culture?
People express happiness in various ways in my culture. I think in all cultures, a warm smile is the most common way to express happiness. In my culture, people express it by celebrating their happiest moments with their loved ones by throwing a party, cooking something special at home, buying gifts, etc. Describe a problem you had while shopping online or in a store. You should say when it happened, what you bought, what problem you had, and explain how you felt about the experience.
Well, I have a shopaholic personality and enjoy going shopping with friends and family because it is a fun way to spend my free time. Sometimes I prefer to go shopping at a nearby store, and sometimes I prefer to shop online, but I'd like to share a story about a time when I went shopping and had a terrible experience. To be honest, the previous end of winter season sale was going on, and I was very excited about purchasing a few branded clothes like leather jackets and woolen sweaters for next winter because there was a mega offer on most of the major brands, so I planned to go shopping for myself. I went to my favorite shopping mall, Vishal Mega Mart, which is about 40 kilometers from my house, and I found the most items at a 60% discount, particularly on winter clothes. I was overjoyed to see everything, but I was also perplexed by the variety of designs. After an hour, I decided to buy 2 leather jackets, 1 woolen sweater, and 2 pairs of jeans. I approached the counter to pay online with my credit card, and I handed the credit card over to the cashier. He attempted to swipe the card, but it did not respond. He tried several times, but the payment did not go through. I deduced that there must have been some sort of technical problem because he tried several times. I was in a pickle at the time. I attempted to pay in cash, but when I checked my pocket, there was insufficient money. Finally, I had to leave the store empty-handed and I missed the purchase that I wanted to make. It was a problem I faced while I was doing my shopping at a mall.
Describe a time when you saw a lot of plastic waste, for example in a park, on the beach, etc. You should say where and when you saw the plastic waste. Why there was a lot of plastic waste. What you did do after you saw it. And explain what your thoughts were about this.
Plastic debris has become a significant environmental threat, and it is common to see plastic waste in our surroundings. I'm going to talk about a location where I was disappointed to see so much plastic waste. Actually, not far from my house is a well-known park where people frequently go for morning and evening walks, participate in recreational activities, and spend free time with their children. I went there with 2 friends on the weekend last Sunday, and we thought it was extremely beautiful because of the large collection of flowers, 2 fountains, a few tiny trees, and greenery. However, as we approached the park's southern entrance, we felt extremely disappointed because there was so much plastic waste that it resembled a small debris mountain. To be honest, many people visit this location and frequently bring food in plastic containers and bottles, which they then discard carelessly. We saw plastic bags, wrappers, cans, plastic bottles, and a variety of other items. In addition, there is a confectionery shop, which is a significant factor in this because they also dispose of their waste there. I and my friends clicked few photographs. There were piles of plastic waste, and uploaded to social media to aware the people about it. In addition to, we approached the management and also the environment department. We requested them to keep the place clean and place dustbins for proper disposal of waste, and if possible put a ban on plastic at site, and take a strong action against owner's confectionery shop. Overall, the management appreciated our efforts and promised us that they will do everything possible to keep the place neat and tidy in future.
Describe a photo that you are proud of. You should say, when did you take this photo? What is the photo about? Why you feel proud of the photo?
Taking photographs has become popular among both the younger and older generations because it is the best way to capture every special moment and create a golden memory. I'd like to talk about a photograph that makes me proud. To be honest, I recall an event was held at my house 4 months ago to commemorate my parents' wedding anniversary. All of my friends, neighbors, and relatives were invited that day. It was a very pleasant day for my family. We arranged all like foods and sweets, music, and proper sitting for guests. In addition to, my house was beautifully decorated with multicolored lights, balloons, and a few paintings. I am a photogenic person who owns a camera. I took a lot of random pictures of my family, near and dear, both close and distant, but one of my parents' pictures was particularly lovely. There is no sad expression on anyone's face in this photograph. In that photo, both appear stress-free, with a quiet smile on their faces. They wear fancy wedding dresses, look like a young, newly married couple. I have placed it in our master bedroom. Whenever I see that photograph, I feel inner complacency as it brings a smile to my face. Many times, I noticed that every guest appreciated the photo. Besides this, I feel proud of my photograph because it is not easy task for everyone to capture all the happy faces in a single frame. Overall, this is the photo that I am most proud of. Describe an important thing you learned, not at school or college. Please explain. When did you learn it? How did you learn it? Why did you think it was important to learn it? How you felt when you learned it?
Well, learning is a lifelong process, and I love to gain knowledge regarding everything. Here, I would like to talk about an important thing I have learned, not in school or college, and that is cooking skills. Actually, I have been interested in cooking since my early age. So, I always watch cooking videos on YouTube and help my mother and older sister with kitchen chores. I remember 4 months ago, I was free from my school because of summer vacation. At that time, I did not have any work related to my academics. So I decided to improve my culinary skills. My older sister is an excellent cook. She knows how to cook Italian, Chinese, and Indian cuisines. My sister recommended that I learn to bake, as it's the most important part of cooking. So, I started to learn to bake first, and then I learned to cook Indian food with the help of my sister. In addition, I learned a few concepts about other traditional foods through YouTube. I especially thank the YouTube channel Nani Kirisoy. I think that cooking is an integral part of every individual's life, for food is the basic amenity of every human being. Moreover, I want to go abroad for my higher education, and having information about cooking would be fruitful for me because I can prepare food myself without waiting for anyone. Within 1 month, I learned all the concepts of cooking and felt on cloud 9. Now, I am able to prepare different cuisines, which would be quite delicious.
Describe an English class or lesson that you enjoyed. What was the class? When did you take the class? What was taught in the class? And what did the teacher do that made you enjoy it?
English is not only a mandatory subject in every school or educational institute but also has become a crucial part of every individual's personality. Everyone is aware that English is not native language of most countries. In my school time, I was not so good at the English language. So I had to attend a few English classes to boost my English language skills. So here I would like to share my experience of attending an enjoyable class. The lesson was basically related to English grammar. But this class was totally different, as I was taught in the school. This class was given to advanced grammar, not simple grammar. Then I learned about advanced grammar. Before that, I had no idea about this form of grammar. I vividly remember that I attended this class at the American Institute in my city. At that time, I was in the 12th standard. Mr. Gulab Singh presented this class. He is a pedagogical expert in the language and excitingly teaches the hardest concepts of the English language. I learned a number of skills from this class. With the guidance of my English tutor, I was introduced to numerous valuable tips and tricks for improving grammar and writing skills. Apart from this, he made us aware of articles, linking verbs, conjunctions, how to create complex or compound sentences, how to use conditional sentences, and many more grammar-related topics. My teacher used the projector to present his presentation, and after completing the class, he sent every presentation to the students' email. Moreover, he started with simple and easy sentences so that every student could easily speak them. Overall, it was an English class that I enjoyed.
Describe a very difficult task that you succeeded. What it was. Why it was very difficult. How did you complete it? And explain how you felt about doing it.
Honestly speaking, I have done a number of things in my life which I found difficult in the beginning, but with practice, all of these became easy for me. I am going to share my experience with you when I found one thing that was very challenging and got success. It was driving skills, because all of my friends have a lot of experience driving the car, but I don't know anything about it. Many times I felt very bad when someone asked me, "Do you know how to drive a car?" That time, my answer was always no. Driving the car was very challenging for me, as I used to think that I could never drive a car because I saw a horrible car accident 5 years ago, and at that time I was only 14 years old. This accident made me very shocked and afraid. I had a car phobia at times, but my father always encouraged me to drive. My father assisted me to complete it. At first, my father guided me through all the basic steps of the car, like gears, speed, directions, clutch, brakes and many more, which I noted all on the paper, and revised all the information twice-thrice in a day. After 10 days, I started the practical work in the evening near the ground under my father's guidelines, like how to control the steering, move the car left-right, backwards, as well as increase and decrease the speed. Within 1 month, I learned to drive the car. Now I am able to drive fully confidently on the road. Overall, I felt really great, and it also made me more confident about my abilities after completing this difficult task. My confidence soared and I got ready to take ever bigger challenges afterwards. Describe an object you find particularly beautiful, such as a painting, sculpture, jewelry, or furniture, etc. Where the artwork or object is. How it was made. What it looks like. And explain why you find it particularly beautiful.
I adore all forms of art and craft, including paintings, woodwork, and ornaments with gold or silver plating. A masterpiece requires a lot of expertise to produce. But today I want to share my personal experience with a sculpture that is only a few years old. That is the Statue of Unity, which is a memorial to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, known as the Iron Man of India. The Statue of Unity is situated in Gujarat, 3.2 kilometers distant from the Narmada Dam, on the river island of Sadhu Bet, by the banks of the Narmada River. I went there with my family the previous year, and explored this site. The Statue of Unity took 3.5 years to build, starting in 2014 and completed in 2018. It was built by a team of over 300 engineers and 3,400 workers, using steel framing, iron, concrete, brass coating, and bronze cladding. The Statue of Unity is designed by Padma Bhushan winning sculptor Ram V. Siddhar, who has designed over 50 monuments. Sardar Patel is shown standing tall over the huge Narmada River while sporting a traditional dhoti and shawl. The Statue of Unity Monument Complex covers an area of 20,000 square meters and is surrounded by a small artificial lake. Also a lot of greenery and many facilities are installed there like entertainment, research, and educational facilities. Overall, I find this particularly beautiful.